Sean Parker and Drolinas. Another tech mogul I wanted to share is Sean Parker, who is the co-founder of Napster, a company he started at 19 years old and was the first president of Facebook. He may not be Warren Buffett, but Forbes added him as the 722nd billionaire in the world. While there is not a lot of information on Alexandra, she is an under-the-radar songwriter and singer. Sean Parker isn't ashamed of Alexandra because she is right by his side when they party with New York socialite Alexa winner and rapper Snoop Dogg. For Halloween in 2011, she and Sean dressed up as Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears. According to the New York Post, in 2010, Kim Kardashian tried flirting with Sean at a party while Alexandra was there by his side as a date. Despite other women trying to hit on him, it is evident that he knows he has a good thing because, on Facebook, Alexandra's photo album is full of the Allison Williams. If you watched the HBO hit show Girls, you might remember seeing Allison Williams as the character Marnie Michaels. Her father is the NBC News chief anchor Brian. Her career has also seen her work as a voice actress for The Simpsons. Allison is married to one of the co-founders of the college humor website named Ricky Van Veen. To add to his resume, Ricky is a principal owner of Connected Ventures that developed Vimeo and is the CEO of a company called Notional that owns the television rights to the Food Network show Chopped. One might think that with the help of her father in the entertainment business and a billionaire husband, she would kick her feet up and relax. Alexandra Melnichenko was a part of a pop group in the 1990s when she was 17 years old in Serbia called Models. The group managed to complete several albums during the 5-year term of their music group. After the team parted, she, in fact, became a fashion model that posed for advertising campaigns and landed television gigs in Barcelona and Milan. Her husband paid Jennifer Lopez $2 million to perform at Alexandra's 30th birthday, and during their wedding, the sultry Christina Aguilera and Whitney Houston performed. The two vacate on a £330 million supersized yacht named the Mama Vessel, which just so happens to be one of the biggest ships on the planet. Alexandra may gorgeous, but she also has some edge to her. Alexandra summoned the previous owners of her $12.2 million luxury apartment in Central Park Monet sculpture that was 4 feet smaller in height than what they expected it for. Elaine Andrea Jansen and Eduardo Saverin. The beautiful Elaine Andrea Jansen is married to Eduardo Saverin, who is a previous employee of Facebook. He is the 188th billionaire in the world, the 10th richest Latin American billionaire, and is one of the youngest men on the list. In 2015, he owned up to 53 million shares of the social media empire Facebook, which is 0.4% of all the outstanding shares. Additionally, Eduardo also invested in the startup companies called Jumio and Quickie. Elaine Andrea Jansen is from Indonesia and used to work as a quantitative research analyst for Franklin Templeton Investments. Unlike a few of the women on the list, she studied economics and was a successful corporate employee. While Eduardo has not confirmed details of the wedding, sources state John Legend sang at their matrimonial event. It is unknown whether the event took place in Bali or the French. The wedding, sources state John Legend sang at their matrimonial event. It is unknown whether the event took place in Bali or the French Riviera. While critics thought he was going to marry Miss Singapore Universe 2009 Rachel Khum, he had a change of heart and chose Elaine. 5. Cindy Colo and Isabel dos Santos. Cindy Colo is a half-Danish and Congolese man whose father is a millionaire. If you Google him and his wife Isabel dos Santos, they have partied with Kim Kardashian, Bella Hadid, and comedian Chris Tucker, to name a few. Nicki Minaj was under the spotlight in 2015 after she accepted a significant amount of money to perform for Isabel dos Santos, whose father is an Angolan dictator named President José Eduardo dos Santos. In an Instagram photo, Nicki Minaj did not hide her music business affiliation despite the backlash and posted she's just the 8th richest woman in the world. At least that's what I was told by someone before we took this photo. Girl power. This motivates me so much. Nonetheless, Isabel is the second richest African woman with a net worth of $3 billion US dollars, and although her husband is a billionaire, she opened a trucking business in the early 2000s, a club on Luanda Island called Miami Beach Club, and made several investments in high-net-worth companies in Portugal. 6. Kirsty Ernesto Bertarelli. Kirsty Bertarelli is happily married to Ernesto Bertarelli, who in 2014 had his family ranked as the fifth wealthiest in the UK based on the Sunday Times Rich list. He was born into wealth because his grandfather passed down a pharmaceutical company in Switzerland called Serono in 1996. Between 1996 to 2006, Serono went from an $809 million business to $2.8 billion. Although his business dealings were lucrative, Ernesto eventually sold the company in 2006. Kirsty is no commoner. Her family is the owner of a manufacturing company of ceramic products, and when she was 17 years old, she became Miss UK. She wrote a hit song called Black Coffee for the UK pop group named All Saints that was close to being as popular as the Spice Girls. Kirsty knows how to have fun and is a frequent and have houses in Switzerland, London, and Spain. 7. Faina Flossi and Bernie Ecclestone. 38-year-old Fabiana Flossi is married to an 86-year-old billionaire named Bernie Ecclestone. Bernie owns a group of companies that include the FIA Formula One World Championship. He worked for the company for 40 years and eventually acquired rights to the organization. One of the couple's most expensive purchases is a £24 million chalet in Gstaad, Switzerland. Their daughter Tamara owns a mansion in London that has 57 rooms, and she mentioned that she only occupies 4 of the rooms in her house. While this is no laughing matter, in August 2016 Fabiana's mother was kidnapped. The police were hunting down a man that threatened to murder her mother after sending Fabiana a gruesome video in the mail of a woman beheaded. The kidnappers requested 8 days for Fabiana and her billionaire husband to send £28 million in ransom. In less, Fabiana's mother tied up in a house in Cotia, Brazil. 8. Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner. Real estate mogul Donald Trump, but the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree when it comes to the man she married. Much like her father, Ivanka's husband, Jared Kushner, is a billionaire real estate investor, the publisher of the New York Observer, and is the senior advisor on Donald's team. Ivanka might be teased in the US because of her father, but in Japan, she has become a big hit because they believe she has it all. Owning a successful business, a wealthy husband, and a father that became a president. While we are familiar with seeing her in conservative clothing, in 2006, she modeled in a few revealing outfits for Stuff magazine. After she had met Jared, she walked away from the socialite lifestyle in her modeling career. Prior to getting hitched to Jared, she dated Lance Armstrong and James Bingo Goobleman, who is the guitarist for the group Maroon 5. More recent, Lance Armstrong and James Bingo Goobleman, who is the guitarist for the group Maroon 5. More recently, after her father banned the entry of foreign nationals from some countries for up to 90 days, Ivanka posted a fancy photo of herself and Jared in an expensive gown. She is now getting flack from social media users for being insensitive to the immigration controversy because of her father's presidential decision. 9. Dev Aoki and James Bailey. Do you remember the cute Japanese model in Too Fast, Too Furious? Well, her name is Devon Aoki, and although she is a successful model that acted in the hit movies Sin City and Mutant Chronicles, when a billionaire named James Bailey pursued her, she couldn't resist. James Bailey is a hedge fund billionaire that chooses to work as a business analyst for Ta Associates. Here are a few interesting facts about Devon Aoki. She had a cameo in the previous Black Eyed Peas member, Fergie's MILK music video with Kim Kardashian, Alessandra Ambrosio, R&B singer Ciara, and Chrissy Teigen. Despite the runway industry standard that models need to be at least 5'9", Aoki is only 5'6" in height. While she lives in billionaire lifestyle, she hit the runway for a Moschino show in Los Angeles in 2016. When she was on the set for the Too Fast Too Furious movie, she did not know how to drive and had no choice but to learn while filming the hit sequel 10. Dasha Zhukova and Roman Abramovich. Chelsea Clinton isn't the only well-off friend of Ivanka Trump that we know. Dasha Zhukova is with Roman Abramovich, who is one of the richest men in Russia with a net worth of $8.5 billion according to Forbes. The two kept their marriage a secret for the first 6 years of harmonious matrimony. In the winter of 2014, The Wall Street Journal published an article stating they met in 2005 and were married a few years later. Dasha is a magazine editor for Garage and attended Donald Trump's inauguration events after being invited by Ivanka. Dasha's husband is an owner of Evraz, which is a steel-making company in London, as well as being the owner of the Chelsea soccer team. In 2014, Dasha was also caught in a scandal after being in a photo shoot which involved sitting on a black woman that was positioned as a chair for a Russian fashion magazine called Bureau 24/7. But was positioned as a chair for a Russian fashion magazine called Bureau 24/7. Both Dasha and the publication were considered racists, but she later published a statement stating this photograph, which has been published completely out of context, is of an artwork intended specifically as a commentary on gender and racial politics.